Hello friends and welcome to a fantastical summer video. I'm really excited to make this video because this is a video that you guys voted for on the community tab. You had wanted to see something that was summer packed, more focused on like a summer starter pack, or we could also call it like a beginner's guide to summer. I've also called it as like romanticizing your summer, or how to romanticize your summer, or how to make your summer not boring. Really, there's just so many different names for this idea, but the idea is that we are going to come up with a list of wonderful things to do to really just fall in love with summer and enjoy summer to the fullest. I think some of you already know that I'm not necessarily somebody who loves the summer season. I just don't do well in heat, to be honest. I'm just not somebody who, I can't swim to be one, so I can't really cool off by going for a swim. And the sun is just, the sun is just so hot. So I'm not the best in hot weather. However, I've also really been trying to encourage myself to find things I like about each season and find ways to really enjoy each season because life is just too short. And if we can find things about what we love in winter and fall and spring, we should also be learning how to fall in love with summer and kind of cherish all of the wonderful things summer can give us. And so that's what this video is all about. We're going to be talking about some wonderful things of how to kind of jump into summer and really love it. Not just dip our toe in, but we're going to come up with a wonderful list of different things to really just fall in love with the season. And I love making these videos, I'm not gonna lie, because they help me come up with ways to also enjoy the season. So we're gonna be doing this together. And I've split this video up into a couple categories. So the first category is gonna be books. We're gonna talk a little bit about books, but not much. We always have to talk about books, I'm sorry. We're gonna talk a little bit about shows, but really not that much. We're also gonna be talking about food. This will include baking and kind of savory dishes that we can enjoy, maybe some sweet dishes we can enjoy. And then we're going to be talking about activities, different things we could actually be doing during the season. Some of these activities are activities that you can do with people, but I also love putting together a list of activities that we can do alone. I'm an introvert. I like staying by myself sometimes. I like going out and hanging out with friends, of course, and grabbing a cup of coffee, but I wanted to come up with a nice list that you can do with people or on your own if you're like, hey, I want to just have a self date or a take myself on a date kind of day. So those are the main things we're going to be talking about. We might slip in a different category. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. Maybe there'll be something surprising. Surprising. I do have to admit, I have a cold. So if my words get a little mumbly, I do apologize. My nose is stuffed, so it's hard for me to enunciate my words. But just as a little notification that I do have a cold. I know, summers and colds. It's ridiculous, but we all know it. With the fans on and the shops having like the AC on full blast, it's so easy to get a cold right now. So if I'm mumbling, if I jumble, if I mush things together, or if I sound a little funny, you know why. So we're gonna go ahead and start with these four categories, and then we're gonna see if there's a surprise category at the end. I don't have a category or something planned for the end, but maybe something just pops into my head as we're talking. So let's go ahead and start with some books. I have 7 books next to me, and these. I hope you grabbed yourself a lovely drink, by the way. I'm drinking iced tea because it's warm and iced tea is lovely. And I know it's probably not great for my cold, but it's really delicious. Anyway, I have 7 books with me. 5 books I have not read, and they're actually on my summer TBR. So I wanted to talk about those, but I've read 2 of them, and I thought these books would actually be really great to recommend to you. And I believe I've talked about them a little bit, but not very much, so I think I can talk about them a little bit here. The first one's actually going to be Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. I never read a Brandon Sanderson book before I picked up this one, and it's one of those things where people like hype it up so much. I was a little nervous of jumping in, and I know this is one of his books that his secret books that he published. So I thought I'd pick it up, especially since it's probably more leaning towards the more young adult than the adult fantasy that he normally writes. It's also a one-off book, so I knew I could read it and I wouldn't have to read something else if I didn't want to. and it's about a young woman who goes on an adventure. And so I wanted to pick it up, and I really did enjoy it. I was happy I read it. I'm happy this was my first Brandon Sanderson book. I probably will read another one in the future. I'm not against reading his books, and I think this one was just a great like step into the cold water. So we follow a young woman named Tress, and she lives on an island where she's technically not supposed to leave until she finds out that the boy or man she loves, that she cares deeply for, has gone missing and is just expected to be dead. There's like no rescue mission or no chance of figuring out where he is. And so she decides to be the hero of the story. And that's pretty much all I want to say about it. So we follow this wonderful woman who, one, collects teacups, and she is being the hero, and she's out on a mission to go find her man. And so I find it really adorable. It was really fun, and it's definitely a nice, easy, light read, and really perfect for summer. I read it last summer, and it was just that perfect amount of like fantasy, but like cozy, but also like excitement that it made me excited to also go out and do exploring. So I really loved it, and I think you would love it as well, especially if you like that kind of like light fantasy. The kind of, it's a little bit higher fantasy than I would say Legends and Lattes, but not as intense of like Lord of the Rings, of course. So it's a nice little middle ground for a nice fantasy book. The second book I want to talk about is The Parish Trilogy by Columba Schmeck. I hope I pronounced that correctly. This is definitely a beautiful novel and very, very, very different from Trust in the Emerald Sea. This is more of kind of like a biography mixed with contemporary. It's really beautiful and kind of a nice book about relationships and love and pain and also growth. I know that sounds like a really weird book for summer, but really it was fascinating and really heart-wrenching at times, but also powerful. None of these words are helping you. But we end up following a young woman in, I believe, 1984 in Paris. And she is a young woman, she's a swimmer, and she has her life ahead of her, and she ends up getting pregnant. And we kind of follow her life at that stage, but we then also follow her life later on, and then also at 50 when she reconnects with a friend. And so we have three chunks of this story where we follow this woman just trying to figure out what's important to her and what's important for her. And as you can imagine, swimming ends up being a really big thing in her life. And as somebody who can't swim, I still found this story really beautiful. And I think if you're somebody who likes biography type pieces or stories about growth and human growth, then I think this is going to be something you would really love. I was engrossed in it, and I just couldn't put it down. I really did enjoy it, and I would highly recommend it. Now I have 5 books that I'm actually planning on reading. These are books I wanted to talk about because I thought it's not just fun for me to recommend books to you, but it's also fun to tell you what books I'm planning on reading, and then we can always read them together if you want to. Or you can give me book recommendations that you have, or maybe you can tell me about the books that you're reading. So I love sharing ideas. I actually have one book in this stack that was recommended to me, which I'm really excited to pick up, but let's go ahead and jump in. This is gonna be a mix of contemporary or a mix of all sorts, really. So the first one is Land of Milk and Honey by C. Pam Zhang. This is going to be quite different from some of the other books I've read before. It has that contemporary feel, but it also has kind of like that surreal, uncomfortable feel. We follow a woman who, I'm just going to read the back because I don't know exactly what this book is about, but I'll read a little snippet so you know. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I won't do the other ones as well, but I'll give you a snippet so you can have an idea. After spreading smog leads to a food shortage, I find it so much more difficult to read out loud when I have a stuffy nose. Okay. After spreading smog leads to a food shortage, a talented chef escapes to a mountaintop community of the uber rich, sorry. Here, the air is cleansed, meals are decent, She emerges from years of bleakness to fall in love again with color, touch, taste, and desire. I thought this would be actually really good for summer because it's not just about like the smog and the sadness of all the other stuff that's happening, but it's also falling in love with the joy of things. I don't really know where this is going to go, but I hope it's going to be beautiful. It sounds like it's going to be written just absolutely breathtakingly. And I think the idea behind the story is really fascinating and something that I hopefully I don't connect with, but that I can connect with the tastes of things and the feelings of things and like the idea of being able to touch my feet against like that nice cold grass. I love that and I miss that so much. And so I'm curious as to how this is going to depict that kind of feeling and that connection to your environment and also food. So I'm excited to read this one. If you've read it before, let me know and let me know if you liked it or not. The next one is going to be The Last Murder to the End of the World by Stuart Turton. This is the book that was recommended to me. I have a friend of mine who is also on YouTube and on Instagram. She's more of a watercolor artist type of YouTuber. She's brilliant, she's really wonderful, and she has so many ideas and so many brilliant tricks and tips for watercoloring. So if you want to check her out, I'll put her in the description below. But she recommended this book to me, and all I know is that she couldn't put it down. She read it all in one day and she loved it. So I'm really looking forward to reading it. I'll read a little snippet so you know what the book's about. The synopsis is, these little reviews are the synopsis. Okay, sorry. Abby keeps them safe. 122 inlanders. Abby keeps them safe. 122 islanders and their 3 beloved scientists live in harmony, kept safe from the poisonous fog behind security barrier with the help of Abby's instructions. Why do these sound so similar? Well, I have 2 fog books, so that's going to be fascinating. And then we have like 2 other pieces. We have the perspective from Nima. Hers is keeps the islanders occupied. Nima is one of the scientists who remembers what life was like before the fog. She ensures that all of the islanders have a job to do, and everyone loves her. Almost everyone. Ooh, we have a mystery. And then Emery can't stop asking questions. But then one of the scientists is found dead, and their murder triggers the dropping of a security barrier. The only way to reinstate it is to find the killer. But can Emery ask the right questions? Oh, so we have a murder mystery. That's going to be fun. Okay, this might be... I love a murder mystery in the summer. I think it's a great way to kind of like, not break the ice, but like have just like a fun little... like a beach read. This would be a beach read for me. So I think this would be a really fun one to take to the park and just dive into and just consume all in one day. So I think this might be a fun birthday read for me. Little sneak into the birthday idea. The next book I'm going to talk about by A.J. Liebling, Between Meals and Appetite for Paris. This is just a book about a man who eats in Paris and he writes about his experiences, and it's just all about food and wine and enjoying the tastes of things. And I love eating, you know that. So I thought this would be really fun as well, and I think it would be absolutely just dreamy to kind of live through the taste buds of somebody else. It's like almost living through the eyes of somebody else, but living through the taste buds. So I'm really excited for this one as well. It's really short as well. So I think it's going to be a fun, nice, relaxing read, which I'm going to enjoy quite a bit. The next one is The Blanket Cat. The Blanket Cats by Koyoshi Shagamatsu. I do hope I pronounced that correctly. But this is just really what you would call a healing book. It's supposed to be quite lovely and soft. I love these types of stories, especially like Japanese literature about coming to terms with things or learning to live with grief or love or pain or learning to live with changes. And this is pretty much about cat home that rents out their cats for a couple of days, and it gives people a bit of the idea is like they're there to help heal, but you can only keep them for a few days. So I'm really curious as to how this one's going to go. It's split up into a couple different stories, but I think it's going to be really lovely. And a book I'm going to cry with, of course. But I always love these types of books, and I love a good book I can cuddle up with on some of those rainier days of summer. The next book I'm going to be talking about is Delayed Rays of Star by Amanda Lee Coe. This one I've been really looking forward to because it follows three women in history. It's a historical fiction novel, and it follows their journey to stardom. But the unfortunate thing is because this takes place in the past, and also something we see even nowadays, these women didn't really reach stardom, but they should have. And I'm really curious as to how this is portrayed in the book and how their story is told. And I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be truly amazing. And to learn about these women and everything they went through. And one of them was a bisexual woman. And I'm really curious as to how she loved and she showed her love, especially back in the day when that was very taboo. Even now it's taboo. So I'm really hoping to have a hopeful story, but I do know that unfortunately I don't think it's all going to be hopeful. But I'm still really looking forward to how this one's written and how it's put together, and to learn about these stories of these three women. The women that they're going to be talking about in this story is Marilyn Dietrich. She was an actress in Hollywood. We have Lena Riefenstahl. She was known in Germany, fame in Germany as her Führer's favorite filmmaker. Interesting. And then we also have Anna May Wong, who discovers that for all the she sacrificed to make it into the movies, her character will always die. So they seem to be all three women who have been in literally stardom, so in the movies. And I'm just really fascinated. I'm really looking forward to this one. So those are the 5 books I'm looking forward to reading. I have 2 books I recommended, and that's all I'm going to talk about with books. Unless you have recommendations, then you should put them in the comments below, because everybody's always looking for recommendations like myself. So let's go ahead and share them. Let's share some love of some books. Shows, I'm not going to go too much into them because I went ahead and made this video a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, and they're my 10 favorite shows I watch during any season. These are shows I can watch constantly no matter what season it is, but one of them I'll go ahead and do a quick shout out for is Ghost. I'm on season 2 of Ghost, the US version right now, and honestly I just watched the Christmas episode. I know Christmas is 6 months away, but it was amazing. I loved it so much. It was so adorable. Some movies I would also recommend are movies that I've constantly recommended in the past. Truly, just to be honest, I have videos where I've recommended these movies, but so maybe new movies. I can't think of any new movies. I'm trying to think of them off the top of my head. This is why you shouldn't make videos when you're sick. Or you should make notes before you make a video. But to be honest, I think I would stick with the shows because I love watching like a show that's 30 minutes, maybe an hour if you're like really want to relax, and then going out and enjoying some nice sun or doing an activity. So you're not spending all day on the sofa binge watching unless you're doing a binge watching day. Then I forgive you. But we should also try to, get out and enjoy the sun or enjoy the rain, whatever you have, and just enjoy the summer season as summer and not just sitting on our sofas. I do it all the time. I'm not against it. I understand. But we're trying to get off of the sofa sometimes. So those are, I don't have any movie recommendations for you. I just have my show recommendations, which you can find here. And I'm sorry it's in a different video, but they're all really great shows, so I would check it out. Now, food. So we all know I love food. I love baking. I love eating. We all know this. But I think it's always really hard to find recipes or ideas for food, especially when we're just hungry or we don't really want to do very much. So I thought I would come up with a wonderful list of great recommendations for some quick some quick dishes and meals that I think everybody can enjoy, and they're easy and they're tasty and they're wonderful. So I love a cold salad. I think cold salads are really easy. They're great for leftovers. You can have noodle salad, you can have orzo salad, you can have quinoa salad. Really, there's just so many different options. And I love just making it super simple and easy. So you have your noodles, quinoa, or orzo. You can cut up some cucumber, some tomatoes, maybe some red onions, but make sure you rinse those red onions off before you throw them into your salad so they get rid of a little bit of that sharpness. Some feta if you like feta. They have like a feta made out of cow's milk that's not so like intense in flavor. So if you're not a big fan of like goat feta, try some cow's feta. That's a little bit better. Some olives if you like olives. Oof, delicious. And that's pretty much it. So making it really easy, just grabbing the stuff that you have in your apartment and throwing it all into a bowl with some noodles, adding a little bit of olive oil, some salt and pepper, some balsamic vinegar, shaking it all up and enjoying a delicious meal. I really like doing these during summer because you can pop it in the fridge and you can have a cold salad for dinner or for the next day for lunch. They're really easy and just so delicious, and they're really filling too, and you don't have to keep your oven or your stove on for very long, just long enough to cook those noodles. So that's one easy dish I always recommend. I always love also having just quick snacks of like cucumbers with cream cheese on them. They're really delicious, or just carrots with hummus. These are things that you know of course, but sometimes we forget them, and so it's nice to have like a little reminder. So these are all great ideas. Another thing I really love doing is a quick and easy pasta. I love pasta, so sorry, some of these are going to be more pasta focused. By the way, somebody wants to say she's shedding so much right now though because it's warm. Um, okay, anyway, pasta. So some of these are going to be pasta focused. I do apologize. I do love myself some pasta. However, there's some great pasta alternatives. We have like pasta made of edamame, pasta made out of other vegetables. Like you can also do pasta made out of zucchini. However, the recipe I'm just about to recommend, maybe not, because I was gonna say doing like a lemon pasta. So getting like spaghetti or some kind of other pasta that's really easy and quick to make, and then you can add some lemon juice with it, and then you can add a little bit of grilled zucchini in there as well. So I think that's always really great dish. I add some shrimps in there if I need a little bit of like protein, but really it's just a great easy dish to make. I can make it really quickly. It's my kind of go-to dish when I'm not wanting to eat dinner but should eat dinner, and then don't want to really cook but should cook to eat something and not a bowl of cereal. So this is my go-to quick dish. I also love doing a barbecue. I'm a barbecue girl. I grew up doing little barbecues, and my siblings love doing barbecues as well. So when we're all together, we're always barbecuing. And so we bought ourselves like a little tiny grill that can go onto our balcony, and we grill our fish and our sausages. We have done tofu before. We've done that cheese that's really squishy. I think it's called not grilled cheese, but it's a grill cheese. I don't actually know the name of it. I just know it's Grillkäse. I only know the German name. So it's very squishy though. Halloumi, halloumi. I just had to get there. So halloumi is also really great. But there's just so many different options you can throw on the grill. But if you don't have a grill, don't worry. I have other options for you. For example, if you're having corn and you just want some grilled corn, I know it's not the same, but you can go ahead and boil your corn for like 3 to 5 minutes, and then you put it into a hot pan with a little bit of oil and just kind of do a quick sear on all sides, and then you can put butter and salt on it. Oof, really delicious, really wonderful. But really anything with a grill is really fun and really great, especially since you can do it outside. So it's outside and it's hot, and then you can come back inside and it's cool and comfortable. You haven't turned on your stove, you haven't turned on your oven. It's absolutely perfect. We also have some other options, like of course salads. You can always have a fresh green salad with some chicken. I know in the US you have the rotisserie chicken, so you can just buy yourself a rotisserie chicken, pop it in the fridge, and then every time you need some chicken for your salad, you just pull some out and throw it on top. Really, it's great. I used to do it all the time when I lived in the US. It's just hard to get a rotisserie chicken here, so we have them, but they're like rotisserie chicken trucks, so you buy them. when you're wanting rotisserie chicken to eat, not for your salad. So it's delicious though. I highly recommend it. I also do wraps as well. So wraps are really easy during the season because they're nice and light. So you could do tofu wraps. You can also do like pulled pork wraps or steak wraps, chicken wraps, tofu wraps. You could do anything wraps. Like they're really easy. You just cut up some salad, some vegetables, throw it all into your wrap, wrap it up, and it's perfect for dinner or lunch. Really light, really easy to make, and super delicious. Especially if you have like a butcher you can go to that the meat's already made, and then you don't have to cook anything at home, which I always love doing. So really so many different meal ideas, and I love sharing these ideas. I'm going to probably have a couple more listed right here. I just can't think of them off the top of my head, but I did want to jump into a couple baking ideas as well, because baking is the number one thing for me, as you already know. I love to try out different recipes. I'm currently working on my baking book, which is going to be focused on pies and tarts. So I just tested out my mixed berry tie that's very sour, very delicious, very wonderful. But so you can do a mixed berry pie because it is berry season, why not? But I also love doing scones during the season. They're really easy and they don't take very long, and you don't have to have your oven on for very long either. And you could do lemon scones, you could do mixed berry scones, you could do strawberry scones, and you can do this with frozen berries or fresh berries. So maybe you could go berry picking and then you can make some fresh berry scones, or just grab them out of the freezer. Either one works. And then I love also doing my pies and tarts, of course, but you can also do galettes. I love a good galette. Then you don't have to have a pie form or a pie shell at home. You can just have some dough, wrap it all up into a beautiful, like, not sandwich, but like mush. Not mush either. Sick brains are kind of slow, aren't they? Like a pocket. There we go. So you can like wrap it up in a pocket, and then you have a berry pocket, which is a galette, and it's delicious and it's wonderful. So if you could do anything with fresh fruits or fresh berries during the season, I highly recommend it, especially if you have your peaches or cherries, or the fresh strawberries are absolutely delicious. And I know we're kind of exiting strawberry season here in Germany, but you can still get some. So I highly recommend it, and bake yourself a delicious treat because you deserve it. You deserve delicious treats. So I'm not going to go too far into baking because you don't need all the baking ideas. I already have a ton of them that have been listed, and you can always check out my other starter packs. I still list quite a few baking ideas there as well, and I also list, I think, some food ideas. So we got some good ideas. But as always, post your ideas down in the comments below. People come here for wonderful ideas from not just me, but also from you. So let's go ahead and have a wonderful community and share these ideas. Now, activities. I have actually a list. I was going to say a large list, but I don't really know if it's a large list. So I have some wonderful activities I think we can all enjoy. My number one activity, and the one thing I really try to do, is start doing more community activities. So I normally go on to, I hate that I'm mentioning this name, but I normally go on to Facebook and I go to the like community tab where different events are posted in my area, and I can see like if there's food truck festivals or if there's music festivals, or sometimes we have like movie nights in our community where they'll actually like post a big movie on like it's not a projector actually. Well, it is a projector, but it's projected onto water. And so we have like this fountain and they project it directly onto the fountain. It's really cool actually. So we have movie nights, we have barbecue nights for the community. So I've been trying to take part more in my community activities. And it doesn't mean like I have to go hang out with my community. It just means I get to go there and eat and have fun and then leave. Like I don't have to talk to anybody if I don't want to. But for example, I went to a food truck festival this last weekend and it was raining so hard. It was just pouring. And then the sun would come out and then it would rain again. But it was really nice because it was a way to kind of like try some new foods, support my local community, support the food trucks that were there, and just get out of the apartment for a little bit. So I really love doing this. I love kind of checking out what's happening. We also have like a secondhand market markets that happen, or just even our fruit and veggie market that happens on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I love going to those just to kind of get out and get some fresh air, get myself out of the apartment. I'm a big homebody, and during the summer I'm even bigger homebody. So if there's activities that get me out, I love it. And if they're involved with music, food, or some kind of art activity, I love doing it. So I highly recommend looking at like your pin board. Sometimes they have them in the grocery store. I don't know if that's still a thing, but sometimes in the grocery store they have like a pin board of like different activities or different things that are happening in the community. Or you can check your community Facebook page. Honestly, that shows you so much. A lot of companies and events still post on the Facebook page, so I highly recommend checking that out and just finding just one event that you want to go to. I generally like going to the food truck festivals because I can try multiple different foods and not feel terrible. But I love doing that, or going to the music festivals where you just stand there and you drink a soda pop and you listen to music, or you drink a wine. It's a big wine thing here. And you just listen to some live music, and it's just a lot of fun. You don't have to interact with anybody. You can go with a friend if you want to, but really you could just enjoy being in a moment, and it's really lovely. So that's my number one thing I recommend. I put myself to the goal of trying to do at least one thing a month, and I'm going to put yourself to that goal as well. At least one thing a month in your community events thing. And I know a lot of communities do different things, so there has to be some stuff going on. Um, the next activity is mostly home activities. So I love picking up new crafts and new hobbies. So I like trying new hobbies, which you've seen me do crocheting in the past. I'm doing watercoloring right now. I've done painting just in general with acrylic. There's just so many different things, and I highly recommend just picking up a new hobby. I'll list a couple hobbies here so you can hobbies. I list a couple hobbies here so you can kind of see some different ideas. I know sometimes it's hard to come up with some new ideas, so here's a list of wonderful ideas. And if you have any questions, I'm always happy to answer questions. I always recommend cooking and baking something new, and then maybe kind of adventuring out to some kind of water. You don't have to go swimming, but you don't have to go kayaking, but just like sitting next to a big pond of water and just enjoying the time and the energy you get from the water. I love doing this. I think it's wonderful. But I'm not going to do all of my activities right now because I want to talk about the next video that's going to be coming out. So, on the 23rd is my birthday, and I've decided that I'm going to take myself out on my birthday. So I'm on my own this year, which I'm kind of looking forward to, but kind of nervous about. But I'm going to do a day of activities, a day of ways to kind of celebrate a day, celebrate the summer, but also celebrate myself and treat myself to a really beautiful day. So I'm going to make a full birthday day video, and this is going to have multiple different activities that you can do during the summer, and you don't have to do them all in one day like I'm going to. I might split them up a little bit too. But this is going to be just a lot of fun and showing different activities that you can enjoy and just have fun with and ways to really enjoy summer. So those are my categories. I don't have a surprise one. You know what my surprise one is? Like and subscribe. I know that sounds terrible, but really all your likes and all your subscribes really do help me out, and they keep encouraging me to make more videos for you guys, and having this community has just been so wonderful for me, my mental health, my encouragement of just also still enjoying the seasons, romanticizing my life, and just having a great time. Oh, wait, hold on. My fifth idea. My fifth idea is outfits. I think outfits are a big part of like experiencing the season, especially during summer. It's too hot to pretty much wear anything, so most of us are trying to figure out what to wear where we don't have to feel like we're wearing something. So I think outfits are a big thing. However, one big however, wear whatever is going to make you feel wonderful and confident. It doesn't have to be something cute and flouncy and girly. Like this picture, it's from my birthday last year, and I loved this photo. It makes me feel like I'm Beauty and the Beast. But it doesn't have to be that. It can be whatever you want it to be. For example, when I'm going to a concert like AC/DC or Nine Inch Nails, I'm wearing more all black outfits, but it's still cute. It still makes me feel confident and wonderful. Or maybe you're going to Or maybe you're going to work and you have to wear something a little bit more professional. You can wear something cutesy and confident in that situation as well. Wear whatever's going to make you feel wonderful, whether that be a black top, black shorts, and all black. Go, you go. As you. You do you, because that's who you should be. You should be whatever makes you feel wonderful and fantastic. I love wearing dresses during the season because honestly, it's so easy to put it on and take it off and I'm done and I don't have to think about anything. But I also love being girly sometimes, and I love being physical and crafty. So I have like my work shorts and my work t-shirt and my like my they're not like overalls, and they're my working clothes. They're the clothes I wear when I'm doing manual labor, like in the sense of redoing my bookcases or working in my garden. That makes me feel cute and fun too. Or when I go fishing with my family when I'm back in the US, I wear jeans and a t-shirt and a baseball cap. That makes me feel also fun and adventurous. And I love dressing for the seasons. During the fall, I have a Pinterest board that I love following to kind of help me gauge what I should be wearing, but what I kind of would like to wear, what it kind of motivates me and inspires me in what I should wear. And I highly recommend creating something like that for different seasons as well. And I'm going to work on one for summer, and let's see if I can put together something that's going to go right here that will be kind of like represent what my summer mood is and what my summer feelings are and what I would like to aspire to wear and how what kind of represents me in clothing. So I'm gonna post that here. Hopefully something will be here. If not, it'll be just a blank page and I'll just be holding my hands up in a weird way. So anyway, that's my fifth wonderful piece. I, I still highly recommend that you subscribe and you like, because that's really helpful. But really, I think that was a great extra piece to add into here, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. But I'm going to let you guys go because I've kept you long enough, and I really appreciate you guys being here. But you have a life, and you have a summer to enjoy. But make sure you guys share wonderful ideas also in the comments below, so that way other people can come up with new ideas and new adventures and new things, and we can keep growing a list and keep coming up with new ideas. And maybe next year we'll have a list that's so long it's crazy. But I'm gonna let you go. So thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for handling me with my little cold, and thank you for being your wonderful selves. You guys are great. You're fantastic. You're full of brightness and joyfulness. And some days we're not, but you know what? I still appreciate you guys, and I still love you guys, and I still want to say thank you. Thank you so much for being here, and I can't wait to see you guys next time, especially the next video I'm going to be posting is my birthday video, and I'm just so excited to see what happens. Anything could happen. It could rain. What are we going to do if it rains? So until next time, you guys, I hope you have a fantastic day, a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you guys soon. Ciao!